Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am so very excited to be coming to you today with another fresh new guest interview. This one is going to be one that I'm actually so excited for, because this is something that we connected back on social media a while back and heard Kyle's story. Kyle's out of Washington State, so really he's about as far away from me as he could get. If I was down in Florida, we'd be about as far as we could go for real. But Kyle's got a lawn maintenance company, a landscape company up here in Washington, and it is bursting at the seams, growing rapidly, first year in business, and so we want to hear Kyle's story. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the support along the way and the growth here recently. But we'll keep up with some show notes here later in the show today. We'll go over some things that we got to talk about, some things coming up here in the future. But first, I want to hop into today's show with Kyle and just kind of hear his story and how you got started. Kyle, how are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, good. How are you?
I am perfect. Like, life couldn't be better. I'm tired, but I love it. I love where we're at. Love where the business is. Business is growing. How are you doing? I know you're busy up there. You are in first year of business. So tell us about it, man. Tell us what you got going on up there in Washington.
So, yeah, I started my business. I did a little bit on the side last year, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I started doing landscape on the side, and I started to learn, like, wow, there's good money in this industry. So I focused on working on the side, pick up some jobs, mowing, landscaping, stuff like that. Then by the end of the year, I sat down with my family. I said, hey, I really want to pursue this full time. My family supported me 100%. So I got started full time here the last week of February of 2022, and it just kind of took off. I got on Google. I had some reviews from last year, so that kind of helped me boost in my area. But after that, I kind of just advertised in local community pages, and I just didn't really have to advertise on on Google or Nextdoor or anything. It just took off. We've been busy, worked every single day so far, Monday through Friday, and sometimes Saturdays up to this point.
That's awesome. That's a schedule that's hard to keep up with, but at the same time, it's one that you want to hear that first year in business. That's really cool that you're staying busy and things like that. So what were you doing before? Let's kind of go back before you got started. What were you doing when you were doing this part-time? What was your full-time gig?
So I was going up to this point. I've had a lot of different jobs in the construction industry. I've done a little bit of excavation work and concrete. And then I was working at a retail yard selling the materials to landscapers and making compost as well.
Okay, that is a unique job. You said you do some excavation and stuff. Are you bringing that into your company now? What do your services look like? What are you offering your customers and things?
So right now, I'm not doing any excavation work, stuff like that. The main focus for my business right now is just lawn maintenance and just doing property cleanups with some slight planting here and there. But for the most part, we're just a mowing company.
Those are the best. I mean, man, that's what I started doing in the very beginning, was like just get out and mow. And it's like you're saying, you can get a lot of customers that way. You can build a lot of relationships. You said you didn't do really much of any marketing. How many yards did you start with when you went full time? So you said you went, or what made you go full time? You mentioned that you realized there was a lot of money in it. Was that the only thing that made you go full time? What was that whole process? What did that look like?
Honestly, Jeremiah, when it came down to it, it's about quality of life. I wasn't happy at those other jobs. They were just I felt like the companies I worked for, they didn't really care about me. I was just a number to them. So I just felt like, let me ask you this, Jeremiah. When you wake up on a Monday, aren't you happy to go to work every day on a Monday?
Yeah. A lot happier than I would be if I was going to work for somebody else. No, that's good. I think that is something that we can all relate with, and I think that's a key contributing factor in working for yourself and being self-employed is the quality of life that you get out of that. And I've heard it said before that being an entrepreneur is the only career that you quit working 40 hours a week to work 80 hours a week.
Oh, it's exactly. You put into your business what you want to. If you want it to grow, you're going to work more. If you don't really care, you're going to work less and just mope around, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So you said you didn't really – we're going to jump all over the place with this interview. I think that we can get a lot of value out of this, and I want to hear a lot of your story here. But I want to hit on something you said just a minute ago about you didn't feel like you were like valued at your other job, and you didn't feel like they cared about you. How are you taking that into your company now? First, what does your company look like when it comes to employees and things like that? What does that setup look like? Are you still solo? You got guys working with you? How's that playing out for you?
So let me back it up. So when I first started this year, I was solo. Then I just couldn't handle it anymore. I got so many calls, so many leads. I said I need to hire somebody. Mm-hmm. Then it just kind of hit or miss. We're in a weird time where it's hard to find good help. Yeah. And if you find good help, you got to make them happy. The first two guys, they didn't last. Then I hired this another guy, and he's hanging out, man. He's doing what I want. He's very goal oriented. He knows what he needs to do. He's been in the industry for a long time. He knows what I expect. And for my employees, like, I treat them how I wish other companies have. Yeah. I'm really good at making sure, like, when they get in the truck in the morning, they have a Red Bull. If we're working late, I'll pick up lunch. I have this weird thing too, where if we're doing cleanups, I'll sneak off during lunch and come back with some food as well. It's just one of those things too. Like, I wish working for these other companies, they would take, it's just the small things when working for these companies. The work's not always the easiest. But if you can make the job seem easier, like, show your guys you care. That's what it really comes down to it. So I'm bouncing all over the place, but
no, that's exactly where I wanted to go.
Like, make your guys happy. They make them want to come to work for you every day. Yeah. And like, another thing too is, like, I always let my guy know, like, hey, this is what we're doing today. I don't leave my guy in the dark. I want him to think also like an owner. Yep. Or like higher up than just a technician. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to point out, like, hey, we should do this while we're here. Yeah. Just not just the job I assigned him to. Like, hey, I think this would look good if we did this. And like, okay, let's go for it.
Yep. And that's, you want to train people to take your job. That's what I've always heard, is like, you want to train them to be good enough to take your job one day, so you don't have to be in the field and he can do what you do. That sounds like what you're doing there. I think what you're saying is very, very key. There's a lot of points. You went exactly where I wanted to transition to, and it's just that, how are you doing that in your company? Is because it's obviously it matters to you. That's why one of the reasons you left working for somebody else. So it obviously matters that you want a good company culture. I think that picking up lines, doing things like that is very key and crucial, and I'm learning that as we bring on more employees and the team grows. It's something that we're trying to do and just constantly, like, research and get better at, like, looking at other people. What are other companies doing to value their employees? How are they getting paid? Are they getting paid on time? Are they getting the right pay, the right amount? Is it easy for them to get their money? But at the end of the day, money isn't everything. Like, a lot of people don't care about money. The guy that's working with me right now that just started a couple weeks ago, like, we had that conversation. It was like, money was not his top priority in working. It was just, he wanted a good environment to work in. He wanted to enjoy what he's doing. And something I think that we should also talk about, and I think you would probably agree with this, I want to hear your feedback on it, is you said you want to make it to where they want to come. It's easier for them where they want to come work for you every day. And I don't think you meant it like that. You didn't mean it like that. I know you didn't. But it's that mentality, I think people could take that literally and say, like, the people that say it's my company, I did this, I built this, and you work for me, I think that's an issue. And what are your thoughts on that? Because I think everything you're saying is you're not that way. You're building that team culture where it's a we, it's a we mentality, not a me mentality. So how are you working to keep that implemented and growing in your company?
So, shoot. Sorry, can you repeat the question, Jeremiah?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, so how to keep a we mentality versus a me mentality, because I know a lot of people say a lot of owners, and this is something that I think across the industry needs to be worked on. And I do my best to not say it's my company. It's our company. We all work together. We all do this. We all get the jobs done together. So aside from you picking up lunch, things like that, is there anything else you do special to create that we mentality where you're all out there, you're all knocking out the job together, and it's not just that they're coming to show up for you every day and go to work for you every day?
Okay. Yeah. So for that, I want to, for going back to when I worked for different companies, there was always something that I needed that the other company wouldn't fork out the cash for. I brought this guy on. He worked for a different landscaping company. He said, "Hey, Kyle, these steel 131s are just too heavy for weed whacking. Would you consider getting a 94?"
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. And it was like, if it makes his job easier and less like the weight difference, yeah. So I went out and bought him a Combi 94, and he's using that every day. And because of that, I learned that I like the 94 a lot better than the SS 131 because it's lighter. And then there's other stuff too, like he always says, "Hey, like if there's something, if he needs something, he'll just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll just end up buying it." Because at the end of the day, the job, if we can make the job a little bit easier with the tools we buy, I'm totally down for it, 100%.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that and a believer that well, equipment is something that is not you look at enough when you're an owner operator. But the second you start bringing people in to work with you, is that they're gonna equipment. The reliability of equipment is something that's going to be looked at very, very quickly. Like, are they having to flip things upside down to get them started? And I'm saying this because I've had to do this in my own company. We've had to fix things, and because stuff that I'll do all the time, like I'll do it without thinking twice. Like if it needs a new air filter or something, or the tank, the fuel vent needs to be replaced in the weed eater, I'll just turn it upside down and let it get warmed up, and then I'll go with it. It won't bother me. But somebody else coming to work for me and with me, then they're not going to want to turn it upside down every time. They want the thing to crank and run the right way from the beginning. So even getting that stuff fixed and set up the right way for when they come in to work every day, they're not having to work on equipment or pull on it forever. That's something I think could help with culture as well, and could help you moving forward, keeping employees and keeping that morale and mentality up. That's all good stuff, man. Well, let's talk legit business, like the real life business of what you got going on. So you said you're a lawn maintenance company. I know. I mean, talk about, if you're comfortable with it. Mention. I mean, what are you doing top line now? You said I know you're doing very well. If not, no pressure there. If you don't want to mention that, but I think a lot of people can learn and grow from it, because, like you said, you started in February. And we know where we're at today. You're growing, you're exploding at the seams. What has the process been to get to this point? I know you said you're cutting grass. What else have you done along the way? Have you just been really just pushing lawn maintenance accounts? Has there been any other services that you've been really trying to hit hard, or has it just mainly been cutting grass?
So when I first started, I wanted to get into the lawn maintenance. I don't have many accounts. I just do in the spring rush, we were doing about 30 to 35. But, I sat down and thought about it. I'm like, well, I have enough accounts here that we're making good money on. I don't want to grow and stress me and another guy out, continue to grow. But some of the accounts I have, though, they're pretty big accounts. I have a commercial, 3 HOAs, and, well, I just actually signed a contract today for a 4th HOA. But they're bigger properties.
Mm-hmm.
And something else I've learned is there's more money in the bigger size properties when you have to get the zero turnout, and they're about half an acre to an acre. So that is one thing that I learned going towards more into May into my business. Like, I wanted to focus more on those type of properties because there's more money in it. And a couple other things going back to when I started in business is, if you don't mind me saying this, but I started studying other companies in my area on Google.
That's good. Yeah.
I looked at their website. I looked at their websites and I looked at their Google reviews, and I read the reviews and I looked at their websites and say, how can I, getting started, have a better website, easier for people to figure out how to contact me? Then I read their reviews, and I set the goals to, one, have a better website than these guys and rank higher on Google. Right now, my company's sitting around 22 Google reviews, and that's a lot more than others in my area.
Yeah, that's insane for year one.
So, right. And I just want to say is, like, when you get started, the Google reviews, those will help you right off the bat, because most people are going to go look for the 5-star Google reviews compared to like a company that has 5 reviews and 5 stars. So if you can get your existing clients to write you a Google review and boost up your stars, you'll rank higher on Google and you'll get more leads out of it. In my opinion, I believe that's what's helped me the most.
Yeah, no, I agree totally. You said your website, you want it to perform well and do better than your competitors as well. What does that look like? Did you get a website built? Did you build it yourself? How did you go about doing that?
So I had some help. I had a client that he's built a couple websites himself, and I said, hey, can you help me, make my website user friendly? We can get some photos of some work we've done. We can say what we've done. Then I just want to make it super simple for people to get in contact with me, for they don't have to go through pages on my website just to send me an email form stating what they need done.
Yeah. No, that's good. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about that of you need to have contact submission forms on like all of your pages on your website, because they need to easily be able to get in contact with you. What is something that you learned from – I like that idea and the mentality of going after the other businesses, going after your competition, I guess you could say. I know I don't really treat it as competition. We want to be friends and grow the industry together. But at the same time, you are competing in your area. So you want to set yourself apart from them and be better service providers and be better, more beneficial for your customers. What did you learn during that process? How do you have to make your company – what do you have to do? What do you have to improve to make your company better and set yourself apart from those companies in your area?
So I want to step back. These other companies, we're not competition. There's so much work out there.
Exactly.
I have friends in the area that are other landscapers, and we try to help each other out. We'll send each other leads if they're not in our area and whatnot. But the one thing I did notice when I was studying other competition was just answer your phone. Get back to people. If you can answer your phone when that person calls you wanting a quote, and you say, yeah, I can be out there what day, more than likely that person is not going to call another landscaping company until you come out there.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's big, is answering on time and being just responding very quickly. Even if you do miss it, respond very fast. We actually had somebody call the other day, and it wasn't a customer that I was going to end up working with anyway. I wouldn't have wanted to. I could just tell over the phone. But she was definitely wanting somebody to answer the phone quickly and get out there quickly. And I was a little too late. I think I waited like 10 or 15 minutes to call her back by the time I got back to her. But anyway, that is what she was looking for, and that's what the majority of people out there are looking for. I know when I'm a consumer, that's what I'm looking for. When we broke, I told this story in the podcast before, but we broke a window earlier in the year, and we need to have it replaced. And I called like 8 different glass companies, and literally the one I used was the first one that called me back, because none of them answered the phone the first time. And then the one that called me back the fastest was the one I went with, and that was it. So none of them even called me back. But if they would have, I just went with the first one. And I didn't even care about price. I just wanted somebody to answer their phone and do the job the right way. And so that's what we went with as well. So lawn maintenance customers, man, how are you? So you said you have 30-something lawns, what you were doing in the spring. You said you do have bigger properties, though. So that's something that I want to hit on and maybe talk about as well. Is I agree with you in the fact that, like, number of properties isn't everything, because you can have 30 properties, but if those 30 properties are 5 acres apiece, that's the equivalent to 100 subdivision lots. Like, it's so different. So are most of your properties bigger up there? What do your sizes look like? And then how are you looking to grow for the rest of the season?
So yeah, the properties up here, they're probably about a quarter acre to an acre is what I usually cover. So we can get in and out most of the time within an hour, but it was just more. It just made more sense to me to focus on these because, well, first of all, I spent thousands of dollars on zero turns, and I want to use them.
Yeah.
And I enjoy mowing on a zero turn. So that was another thing. I was just like, I gotta make money back on these investments. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So do y'all have many like subdivision style lots, and that's just not really what you're wanting to go after, or do y'all not even have most of those? Because I know like where we are, we have a decent amount of like subdivision lots, but we don't really have that many. Most of ours are just bigger properties. That's just where we're at in our area.
So I feel like your area is similar to mine. It's not a country. We do have like a downtown center, then it just spurts out into the country basically.
Yeah.
There are some neighborhoods out in the country, and I need to do a better job next year on route density in these neighborhoods.
Yeah.
This year, I'll be honest, I took whatever I could find, and I just went with it. And for the most part, it's paid off really well. My clients are very nice and friendly, and just they appreciate the work that we do for them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Hey, if you show up on time and you talk and you communicate, then I think they're going to be pretty happy. So that's pretty cool. That is really
that is. Sorry, Jeremy, I don't interrupt you, but that is one thing I felt like it's helped me a lot too. That's one thing that's helped me a lot too is be communicative with your clients.
Yeah,
that's what's going to make you stand out too. Is like let people know like, hey, I'm not going to make it to this day. It's a rain day, something like that. Or be like, hey, we're going to be out there next week. Is there anything else we can do for you while we're out in the property?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I noticed once it's actually probably the whole industry is there's a lot of landscapers out there that really lack communication with clients.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. That's everybody that I talk to. That's what they say is they want people that will communicate with them and get back with them. Because like we actually picked up a customer not too long ago, and that was the exact reason was they weren't communicating well. The people that had been kind of just quit replying and quit returning their calls. So hey, when you're not communicating, that's not a good look for your business and for your company, especially moving forward. You're not going to end up having very many long-term customers, I don't feel like. So what are your goals moving forward, man? You 30-something lawns. Is that what you're doing now? What number are you at now?
It's the summer. Everything's kind of burnt out. We're probably sitting around about 20 to 25 clients a week. Then we'll do some cleanups on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays to make up for those lawns being down. What the company looks like now, I'm going to kind of stay the same size, me and another guy this year. Then next year, I might grow to one more guy, but I really want to sit back. I want to take my client list and cut down the bottom, the lower end properties, and fill those back up with some higher end clients that that have the bigger yards, and try to increase the profit that way. We both know that growth sucks cash. So, and in my first year, I feel like I've sucked a lot of cash just trying to grow.
Yeah.
So I want to try next year. I just want to be able to, get that money back.
Yeah, keep a little bit and show a little bit of reward for all the work you've put in.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. What does your family look like? Are you married, engaged, dating? What does that situation look like? You live at home? You're on your own? What does that whole future look like for you?
So I've been in a relationship almost 2 years. My girlfriend Shelby, she's awesome. She's been really supportive with me throughout this whole thing. She has 2 kids, and we live in a house together in up here in Arlington.
Awesome, man. And I saw the reason I asked this about family stuff because I was on your Instagram looking before we got started, and I saw the massive dog that you got not that long ago. What kind of dog is that? The black one?
So Riggs, he's a Newfoundland. He's a big boy. He's about 150 pounds. He's a year and a half. We just adopted him not that long ago, but he's a big dog. He's a drooler though, which kind of sucks. But
yeah,
I've taken him out. Then we have another guy. I don't know if you noticed on the Instagram, but the gray one. I think the grayer one, is gonna be my landscaping buddy moving forward. He's just super mellow. I feel like I just take him to work with me, just lay in the yard and just look around.
And then do you still have the German Shepherd too?
Yep, that's Kona. Kona's awesome. He's very into his tennis balls
Really?
and wants to play fetch 24/7. Oh yeah.
He's a cute dog, man. I'm a big dog fan, so I love seeing him, especially if he rides around with you. I mean, hey, you could get new customers just from them seeing that dog. Like, you don't need branding. You just let him stick his head out the window, and that's enough. Riggs there, the Newfoundland, that I'm telling you, I wish y'all could see his Instagram. Y'all can go check it out. We'll put his link in the show notes today. But, like, when you're sitting next to him, he's literally, like, almost as big as you are.
Oh, he's huge. Yeah, I can't. If you put him up on his back seat, he's pretty much taller than me. I'm like 5'7", so he's probably about 5'5" standing up.
Good night. That is insane. I mean, man, that's awesome. That's really cool. What does snow look like for you?
So we don't get a whole lot of snow out here in the Northwest. We do, but it's just hit or miss. I thought about getting in the snow game, but I can't see investing into a what do you call it? A snow. What is it? Snow.
Like a plow or a blower?
I can't invest into. I can't see myself investing into a plow if we don't get snow. You know what I mean? Like, those things are not cheap, and I don't want to risk it. So if it does snow, we'll probably go out there and shovel some driveways and whatnot. But it's not very often we get snow up here.
Yeah, I hear you. I didn't know. I know. I'm not that familiar with out there. So the furthest I've gone, we did go to California a couple months ago, and that was pretty cool. We drove up to L.A. and San Francisco, or I guess L.A.'s in the bottom. San Francisco was the one up top. That was more north in the state. So, like, how far are you from like L.A. and things like that?
Oh man, we are really far. It's from
a long
LA.
way, right?
So for people, if you have people out here that listen to the podcast, I'm about 50 miles north of Seattle.
Oh wow, you are way up there then.
Yeah.
How far are you from the border?
Oh, I think the border is like another 60, probably about 60 miles.
Oh, so not that far. You're pretty close then.
Yeah, like, if you want to go to Canada, it's only about 60 miles.
Yeah, that's like an hour and a half. That's not far at all.
No, it's not bad at all.
Do you ever like go across and come back? Or do you pretty much stay in the U.S.?
Because of COVID, they shut down the borders. I haven't gone to Canada in a while.
Yeah.
I usually just stay down here in the States.
So how far are you from Mike Andes? I know he's pretty close to the border up there.
So Mike Andes is in Bellingham, Washington. So he's close to the border. Bellingham is about 40 miles, probably about 40 miles north of me. So
cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Mike Andes cool. Then he has another location close to me here in just about 15 miles or about 20 minutes north of me, actually, in his Mount Vernon location.
Cool. Do you ever run into them out on the streets, the Augusta trucks and all that?
So when I first got started, I met the Augusta because they have one in Mount Marysville, and the guy's pretty cool. His name's Nick, good guy. He's very knowledgeable too, and he's just like me. At the end of the day, we just want to change the culture of landscaping. You know, we want to give people quality work. Yeah. And that's what he strives for, and that's what I strive for. And together, I hope one day we can make a difference, in our community.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, man, what's some parting words of wisdom here? We're almost already at 30 minutes. This has been really good hearing about your business and how you've got going this year. And so, before I ask you that, what's your future look like? I know you said you want to maybe next year get some cash back and things like that. What does the future of your company look like? And what is the name of your company? We didn't even plug that.
So my company name is Hometow Landscaping Services.
Okay.
So yeah, and I mean the future of my company, it's very bright. I feel like there's a lot of different ways that can go about this year to grow next year. I think the one thing I need to do though is get an enclosed trailer where I can store my equipment in there out of my garage. I want to decal that, make it look good, and just go around town with that. One of the things I noticed too in this industry, in my area anyway, there's a lot of trucks rolling around, landscaping trailers, but there's no decals on them.
Really?
So I want to be able to stand out. Yeah, a lot of that. So I want to stand out, and have my decals on my trucks. They're already on my truck, so I might as well get a trailer and do the same thing.
Yeah. Box truck's the way to go. That's what we got this year. I love that thing. If you were able to get one, I would say, hey, maybe try to pull the trigger on that. But do whatever works for you and your company, buddy. I know enclosed trailers work for a lot of people. I was just never a fan of them. But you're right. Marketing and having your branding and things like that, driving around town, that is a great way to get your name out there and people seeing you in the community. So what does the future look like as we wrap this thing up?
The future looks pretty good. We're going to continue to grow. I'm going to max out at about 40 to 45 accounts weekly. We're going to grow that way.
Yeah.
I want to pick up another HOA. And I just want to, I want to work and just kind of be more profitable next year. There was a lot of expenses this first year. So I want to be able to, get back that cash and reinvest it again in the company.
So let me ask you this, and this will be the final question here, or one of the last final questions is, how do you plan to do that? How do you plan to become more profitable? What can somebody take away from this episode and say, this is how we can become more profitable?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So raise your prices. I didn't raise my prices at all this year when I first started. Diesel up here was over $6 a gallon.
Wow.
And I have a diesel truck.
Wow.
But I kept everything at I kept the prices the same. I didn't want to lose clients.
Yeah.
So I kept my prices the same. I showed them that you're worth every penny. So this off season in the winter, I'm going to go ahead and look at all my pricing, and I'm going to raise everyone's prices.
Yeah.
So that way I can, get more money next year. And if they drop off, that's okay. There's so much work in this area that I'm sure I can fill the spots.
And you'll fill them with customers that you need and you want to make the right amount of money on too. So that's key there. Yeah. So, Well, man, final question we try to ask all our guests here is pretty simple, but it can be complex. What is your why?
So hopefully this doesn't come off selfish, but when I first got started, I could tell there's a lot of people who were kind of two-faced to me. They were saying, oh, well, we want to see you succeed and all that. But deep down, I feel like they didn't want me to succeed. They want to see me not, grow my company, not be where I'm at today. So it's one of those things where I want to show people I can be in this business and I can do good work and that we can be one of the top companies in my area.
That's good. I love that. I love proving yourself, and I think you've already done that just from the conversations we've had tonight. I think you've already definitely proved yourself, and you're looking to grow. And just the way that you want to become more efficient, more profitable, is all things that you must do to create a successful business moving forward. And I think you're on the fast track to doing that, man. Well, how can everybody get in touch with you if they want to connect with you on social media? Maybe ask you a few questions on how you start up and things like that. How you had a good first season.
So my Instagram is just going to be my personal. It's going to be KyleAlex23. If you guys want to find my business profile, it's on Facebook at Hometow Landscaping Services, LLC.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll put that link to the Instagram in the show notes today. So if y'all have any questions for Kyle, you can go out and click a link there and take you straight to his Instagram page. And I think that's going to wrap this one up, man. I appreciate your time tonight.
Hey, thank you so much, Jeremiah. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. If you had a little bit of value, learned something from it, took something away, then would you leave us a 5-star rating and review? Those really do help. I know I hate asking for those. I don't want to sit here and just beg you for reviews, but they really do help us in the algorithm. I'm telling you, the more we get, the more we grow. And when we continue to grow, we can grow the community one relationship at a time and just put out the best, most value-filled content that we can. And we can have great guests on like this. And we have some great guest interviews coming up. I'm telling you, the next couple of days, we have some really, really good ones coming. So stay tuned for those. Share the show with your friends. That really means a lot as well, or grow organically. And we'll just keep this thing rolling hot off the press. So I think that is going to wrap this one up. Without any further ado, we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.